For all.
At least you weren't in the
I'm
chair.
sorry, that's going in round town. Yeah, I like to capture what's going on. Humorous bits like that. And they're not necessarily indicative of what happens on the council.
Yeah.
That's tell us there's not chivalry still in this game.
There is in leisure.
Full
All right,
disclosure,
first
got
thing we
that.
have on the agenda is citizens' comments. That's for anybody that's not on the agenda that wants to get up and say anything or ask any questions. Any citizens' comments? Oh, that was quick. Okay. Approval of minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the regular meeting minutes of January 5th, 2026.
I second.
I have a question on it.
We do that. This,
Oh.
yeah, once we get the
I'm
second.
sorry.
Nope,
Okay.
we'll get it.
I'm gonna get it figured out.
First and second to approve the minutes of January 5th, 2026. Comments at this point?
Yes. I'm just curious why all the comments that Mike said are not in the minutes.
We're out, Denise.
Well, oh, golly,
On page 3 or 5.
yeah.
I can probably explain that. During the last meeting, I kind of advised that we shouldn't be putting every single comment in and just abridging it. So this is a much more summary version than what you've seen in the past. And it's all that Idaho code requires, and I think it's a better way going forward. So just so you know, that's why they're abridged. It's not every comment in there. This is to make it more in line with what
So don't take it personal.
No, we're not trying to silence you, Mike.
And as Evan pointed out, the other thing is we keep the records of recordings, so all the detailed minutes are in the recordings, and so the detailed minutes we go back to those. So
Well, thank you.
good input though.
The minutes, one way to think about it, it makes it quick so you can go back and find out what was done on a particular day. So you really need to have the action items in there and then what the results of the votes were, that kind of stuff.
Any other questions on the minutes? We have a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, payables, approval and payables.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we pay bills and payables in the amount of $999,440.90.
Second.
I'll second that.
The first and second to approve payables in the amount of $999,440.90. Any questions on payables? I will tell you that we have a new payables list, and myself, I like it a lot better. There's more detail in it. We kind of want to, anybody have comments on it, whether they like it better or worse, it's kind of detail.
I like it a lot. I had a question about the Keller Associates. There's two on-site mixed chemical and sewer usage rate, and I was just wondering why we needed engineering for those two things.
Anybody have any-
Lori, I highlighted them and I think they're both sewage or sewer usage rate.
Sarah, you got a comment on
Yes. So the sewer usage rate is the rate study.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay. The sewer usage is the rate study that was done in order
Okay.
to see if we needed to increase, decrease, stay at where we're at.
That makes sense.
And then the on-site mixed chemical, that is for the wastewater to have the new chlorification system, correct, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, you're very expensive.
If it says sewer, it's expensive.
And so I had a similar question. There's two bills on the sewer user rate. Was it two different, and there was only one study, so did we get two different bills
There's two different bills. Yes, two different bills,
for the same study?
yes. They had to go back and do them.
Oh,
Sewer
they had to go back and
connection.
find some additional cities or something?
Yes.
I'm sorry, in the past, I haven't noticed, is it just the fact that we haven't seen payroll in the past?
No, it's up at the top, Mike, before on the.
No.
old ones.
Oh, on the old
Yeah,
ones?
it was clear,
Okay,
it was clear up to the very top
Okay.
line on the old one.
okay, I never
In fact,
noticed it.
When we first saw this, I told Sarah this can't be right, because
the number's not right, and then she pointed out it was on that next sheet, so. It's just more visible down here at the bottom than it was at the top. Any other questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Henderson,
Yes?
Steinecker,
Yes.
Key,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Motion passed. All right, we have a donation request from the Payette High School graduating class. Is somebody here to represent that? Come up to the mic and give them your name and address.
Hello, my name is Andy Kirkendall, 10873 Iowa Avenue in Payette.
I'm Andrea Kirkendall. Good evening.
So thank you for being here. Unfortunately, they did send the B team today, so we're stepping in. However,
B teams do a good job.
yes, as we are here in front of you as we are parents of a graduating senior class of 2026. And therefore, we are part of the safe and sober graduation party that we're putting on, as in years past. It's a great time for to provide an environment for the students that gives them that safe and, again, sober area. And in years past, we're actually going to utilize the West Side Alternative School, or Academy now, and we've gotten that approved. And our goal is we are trying to provide $150 of raffle items or giveaways to each individual student. So I think there's about 90 to 92 students in this class right now, so we have a ways to go, but we've been working for several months as a collaborative group of senior parents. And in years past, I know that the city has been generous enough to donate and help us along that way. So we stand in front of you, hoping that you might be generous again once again. And again, we appreciate anything.
So a lot of our donations funds were cut out of last year's budget, but I believe, Chief, do you want to comment on this? Because I thought I heard you say earlier that you had a budget.
I did. You guys are all over it this year, by the way, because I received a phone call and then I got a paper and then now you guys are here tonight.
It should look like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I received. We intended to donate the $300 in fuel cards again this year. My SRO will pick them up and then have them for you guys at the Safe and Sober Party.
And we're gonna have a lot of officers there too.
I know the SROs for.
No, I mean, just
Do
to
we
have,
need a lot of officers?
to come and.
I graduated a long time ago. You may not need that many.
Swimming pool passes, is that what did you say?
No, fuel card.
Oh,
Fuel cards.
We purchased
cards.
fuel cards from the
fuel,
Sinclair.
pool.
Yep. And so that's kind of our goal, is to have a variety of items, from fuel cards to gift cards to whatever the situation is. As a donation from us personally, I work for Lowe's, so I have the ability to alter some prices on some great prizes for some students out there.
Chocolate?
So, not quite that much, but I mean, we do a really good job of being able to help out with laundry baskets to small refrigerators, all kinds of good stuff. So
For
it's
dorm
always-
rooms, stuff like that.
it's an exciting shopping experience for everyone but me.
And hopefully we'll have some of that back in next year. I bet the chief, I know, is always, I mean, that's been a kind of a pet project for his, so he's always made sure he's had some money in there for you.
Yeah, every year we've appreciated the chief, because when we're doing budget, we, somehow forget about this. He always remembers it. I appreciate the fact that he does, and I think it makes most of us feel good to be able to contribute to this. Good cause.
Yes, and full circle now that we not only got to attend it, but now.
That's right. Yeah.
Would we be able to donate maybe like 10 or 20 pool passes?
That would be up to the council if somebody
In
wanted to.
addition to the $300?
Yeah, because they're different pots.
So Sarah, what do we do on pool passes? We just have a set amount when we count them, or?
Yeah, they just, however many pool passes you guys want to donate to them, Lexi just takes it out of her admissions line. It's not,
I think it'd be people going to the pool that wouldn't normally go to the pool anyway, so I backed up on that.
Laura, you wanna make a motion to that?
I move that we donate 20 one-day pool passes to the last class I taught as an 8th grade U.S. history teacher at Payette.
I'll second.
Got a first and a second to donate 20 pool passes to the Payette High School graduating class party. Any other questions on this?
So what's the value of that?
Sarah, ballpark?
it's, they're students, so it's $2.75
That's 20.
a child
With less than
at
6
school
pool.
to swim, so whatever that is times 20.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if you guys could include the $300 from my SRO into that donation as far as an action item. That way I have the approval to get that going.
Okay. Is that okay with first and second, to add the 300 plus those? Okay, any other questions? Clerk, please call the roll since it's money.
McGill,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Steinecker,
Yes.
Key,
Yes,
Patrick,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
You got this thing that's really got to answer, I'm not. Yeah, sitting on the council all this time is a different thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, appreciate it.
thanks for
Okay, number 2 is ordinance 1572.
Mr. Mayor, I move we introduce ordinance 1572 by title only.
I'll second.
Got a first and second to introduce ordinance 1572 by title only. Ordinance 1572, an ordinance of the city of Payette, Idaho, amending the Payette Municipal Code, section 17.80.001 of chapter 17.0 entitled 17, temporarily suspending collection of development impact fees, setting an effective date, establishing severability, establishing a repealer. That is the ordinance. Any questions, or this is one of those things we've been kind of hunting down the road, but if we were to activate it, we'd have a whole lot of work, and right now, we kind of offset this when we raised all the connection fee rates and stuff to help with the water and the sewer, so. Denise?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna have questions, so I hope you guys don't all mind.
Yes.
I don't understand what the problem is. I think impact fees should be paid by the developer. Why, was there a reason at some point that they were stopped and?
When this was in place, the impact fees had a lot of sidebars on them, what you could use it for and everything else. And in reality, building was pretty slow, there wasn't much going on. And what it raised for the fire department and other stuff was not hardly any value at all for what it was doing. So we felt like putting it on hold was going to at least improve building and encourage it, and it did. But the world has changed. But the other problem with that is to just turn this back on, there's a whole lot of new regulations and laws in place that we would have to jump through hoops and look at. Part of what we did recently was raise connection fees and other stuff, which really what we're trying to do with impact fees is offset the costs to the citizens for water, sewer, and some of those services. Police and fire are nice, but it just wasn't raising much money for police and fire at all. So I kind of like the fact that we jumped our connection fees up enough, because that's going to make a bigger impact on water and sewer than anything else. This only really affected, in my remembrance of the fire, and it was after the 4 or 5 or 6 years in, it was like, I don't know, $15,000 is all we had in there. It wasn't very much. It was pretty minimal.
So this is 10 years since this was stopped,
really
right?
don't know when it was
2016? And so at some point we would be revisiting this, or?
Well, if we revisit it, but if we revisit this, I think we need to do this maybe in a town hall and stuff, because there's also a whole lot of stuff, from what I understand, the state has changed all the rules and stuff on this. So just to say we're gonna turn it back on, doesn't work that way.
Okay.
We're gonna go through a whole lot of loops and stuff to make that happen. So if the council is something they wanna pursue, then we need to investigate what it is. But this ordinance, the way it sits right now, isn't something we can just turn back on and make work.
The way the ordinance is written right now, as I'm reading it, is during the period of suspension, a study shall be conducted of the city's capital improvement plan and impact fee ordinance. So if you're going to do a study this year, I keep that sentence in. If you don't anticipate doing that study, shall is an obligation that you have to take. So it kind of depends on what you guys want to do. If you're wanting to study it this year, which it goes to Ms. McGill's question, you know, what are we going to do with it? Are we going to take another look at it? Technically, this says that you have to take a look at it within this year. You could change it to May, and then it's not an obligation. And that way, if you guys have a discussion later on down the road, and you decide that you have enough money and you want to run the fee or the study, you can, but you definitely want to change that to May in the second full sentence of paragraph B.
So that's a separate motion to change the ordinance, right?
Yeah, or, you know, a motion to pass it with the change to the second sentence, having a study may be conducted instead of a study shall be.
Okay, so we could do that in the same.
Yeah, you can move to approve it with that amendment to it.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I don't think we know what the impact fee would be at this point, because it's been suspended so long. And we don't really know the specifics of what we have to do to reinstate it, but we probably should know those things.
But we need to find those out before we put this back in, so I would kind of like Evan's idea of putting it in May, because that at least gives us some breathing room.
If we're gonna continue to suspend it, why not eliminate it?
That's the other possibility. The only reason it's been kept active was because we were always told that it's so difficult to put it back in place, but from everything I've heard now and the changes in state law, it's not gonna be easy to put it back into place with this ordinance the way it sits either. So that's the other possibility.
That leaves it open, right,
It'll
by
be-
changing it to May?
Totally.
Okay.
Gives you guys more control.
I guess at this point, my feeling is unless we want to go through a lot of debate right now, if we do that, then we can talk about it maybe later as a council, whether we want to dump it out or maybe review it and see if it's something we want to take a look at, but.
Do we have an update at the next meeting on what it would take to reinstate it?
Well, I think you're gonna have to, in order to reinstate it, you're probably gonna wanna have the impact fee done, the study done, so you can see what it's going to be. And then I can look into what you need to do to reinstate it. But I probably wanna make sure that you want to do that before you have me run down that rabbit hole, I would assume.
And there's a cost to that?
Oh, yeah, big cost.
Okay.
I charge you guys, I've charged you never more hours than I've put in.
I mean, that, as far as
When
the,
you come in and do that study, we're gonna be
Oh,
paying.
that's why, when I saw it, that's why I said something, because typically you're gonna have to have an engineer look at that, and that's gonna be more than I would be able to charge you guys.
I guess if we wanted to maybe investigate what the cost of that study would be, just to do it down the road, that would be one thing, but at this point, I think this particular ordinance, I'd kind of like to see just put on hold, and then if we want to have the staff or somebody call a few people and find out what a rate study, or what a study for a new one of these would take, then we'd have some idea what the dollar amounts are.
So this is a motion to pass ordinance 1572, correct?
With the modification for the,
Mr. Mayor, I move we pass ordinance 1572 with the modified language from shall to may in that paragraph that Evan indicated.
on its first read. Okay.
On this first reading?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you have to suspend the rules.
Yes, and suspend the rules again.
Yeah.
And suspend the
Okay.
rules and pass it on the first reading.
Right, so there's a motion to pass ordinance 1572 with the modification that Evan put in there for May instead of shall, and to pass it on its first reading. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
There's a second? This doesn't take a vote, does it? This says, okay. All in favor?
aye,
Any opposed? Okay. Ordinance 1572 is passed.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that ordinance 1572 do pass.
Second?
second,
Motion and second that 1572, ordinance 1572 do pass. All in favor?
aye,
Is that a roll call on that one? Sarah?
Yeah, when it's an ordinance, you need to do a roll call.
Is it, okay, roll call please.
Patrick,
Yes.
Keith,
yes,
Henderson. Yes. Hill,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Steinberg.
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a resolution number 2026-01, and that's a resolution of the City Council, the City of Payette authorizing signatures, including facsimile signatures for banking services on behalf of the city. Right now, because where we're at sort of in limbo, we put 3 people on that signature, myself, Sarah, and Mike. Unless somebody sees another need, later we may have to amend this, but right now, those are the 3 people that are on this. Any discussion on that?
I make a motion that resolution 2026-01 pass.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution number 2026-01. Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Don't we have to?
Yeah, roll call on the
Yeah,
action
roll call
item
is
here.
actually kind of money.
If that is money.
Patrick,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Steinford. Yes. Franklin,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Key.
Yes.
Okay, number 4 is action item task 6 on Keller Associates, an action item for airport lighting. Fraser, do you want to just run this by us for a minute?
Mr. Mayor and council members, we had a meeting last week with all the department heads in Keller and went over all the different projects they're working on in the city. One that we talked about was the new runway lights that are coming up. We had talked about the idea of putting in a PAPI. PAPI stands for Precision Approach Path Indicator. It's a safety issue of pilots being able to know they're on the right glide path coming from the north. That was not part of the original application from the state, but the state said if you have the money, and it's a lighting system, we don't care. It's just whether or not you have the money. And so originally when they came to you, Keller came to you, it was just for the lighting replacement. During the meeting that we had, Jason discussed the fact he's pretty sure we're gonna have plenty of money to also install a PAPI. And so we would put that in the bid as an ad alternate, but they're gonna have to get paid to do the engineering part of it. And that's what they're requesting from you. I'm sure you see what the dollar amount is. And then they would come up with a budget to do that and design. And then when we do the bid, they would make that portion of it an ad alternate. So they would bid the replacement of the runway lights, get done with that and say, okay, now what would it cost to install the PAPI? And if we have the money, then we do it. And if we don't, we just don't do it.
Fraser, what's the, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but there's also a new lighting distribution panel for $3,800.
I don't have any idea what that is.
That's his option.
I did put you on the spot.
Well, yeah, I don't, it's something that they must have come up with because the way the system works now is actually quite simple. It just has a little radio system that we've used for years. It pulls off our frequency 122.9. You click your mic 5 times and it turns the lights on. They stay on for about 15 minutes and they turn off. And so what this new panel would be, I have no idea.
And Fraser, I think, I'm not sure, but I think they were wanting to make sure that the electrical panel itself was new enough and okay, that's why they listed it as optional.
Right.
So I don't think it's something, I think it's kind of a cover yourself with that one when they put it in there, just in case. Well, 6 is the PAPI that if we have money will be purchased. I don't know about, if we don't need that panel, I'm assuming we won't buy that panel.
Right.
It's just in there in case we have to replace it.
Fraser, it says in the event that the owner chooses to include upgrades to the electrical distribution system, the following additional services will be performed. And so, but we still don't know what the electrical system looks like, right? Or do we?
We have not gone into the ground.
Right.
What we've done, everything's underground, it's in conduit, it's in solid wire. This was also all designed to run on incandescent lighting, which pulls a tremendous amount of power.
Yeah.
We're gonna use that same wire to run LEDs, which uses almost no power. One thing that might be additional that we talked about at our airport committee meeting this last week is when you land an airplane at night, you've got white lights that tell you that you're on a runway. You gotta get off that runway. And so you have taxi lights, runway lights are white, taxi lights are blue. Right now, you just kind of hope you turn off where there's a taxiway. Okay? Because most of the lights are broken, and you've got some really nice airplanes that land here once in a while, and they'd like to make sure they make that turn. And so we would put in the blue lights, but they're just one on where the runway is. What I'm gonna propose is that we would just tap into that wiring and add at least 2 more to get you off the runway. So just to get them off the runway. Everything else is going to be reflectors. They make a reflector that stands about that tall. They're breakaways. They're just really highly reflective. And so your landing lights and so forth will reflect on that. We won't have to put any wiring in for that. The additional wiring for just those taxi lights would be very minimal.
I think the state gave us enough money to do everything we need to do.
And Fraser, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have had Burke out there several times doing work on lights and other stuff, and I kind of think that if Burke thought those wires were in sad enough shape, they wouldn't have replaced those lights. So I kind of feel like the wiring out to there is probably adequate.
Yeah, I've been on my knees and dug around and got down in there, and it's pretty substantial for what we're doing. I was afraid we'd get down in there and find some 20 gauge braided line or something, but it's some pretty heavy duty stuff. It's all solid copper, so. But anyway, that's back to the original question. This is to have Keller look into putting in the package.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we authorize the expenditure to Keller for the optional PAPI evaluation to be engineered for the amount of $6,500.
Second. A first and a second to authorize Keller for the airport lighting additions for the amount up to $6,500. Any other questions or discussions? Clark, Kirk, please call the roll.
Keith,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
McGill. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Henderson. Yes. Steinaker. Yes.
Number 5, request for funding from Frontier for Bancroft Park. This is work that's been done on Bancroft Park to this point. And I think, wasn't that one of the amendments, the agenda? Because I don't see, the total was wrong on that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was an amendment. Did everybody get that to the amount on that? That's just, I have been, just for input, I've been down there several times on these guys, and at least so far, I don't know what Jamie's comment, I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they're moving right along, building a lot of huts out there.
Yeah.
They're doing what, Jamie?
Building huts, they gotta build a cover so they can pour.
Oh.
Yeah,
They
it's all
wait,
really bad.
the season pushes back quite a ways, so they ended up, but they've,
Yeah, they're working on, they've got the whole turn in for the trailers, they're doing the pathways now, all throughout the whole thing, the drainage is in the pathway, so they're moving right along.
yeah, and so far, from what I've seen, looks pretty good. I mean, they're doing good
Just
work.
seeing the stuff, we'll see it
Yeah.
on the final walkthrough.
Anybody have any questions on that, though?
I had a question on page 26. It says the pre-construction meeting was held on July 31st, blah, 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 with a substantial completion deadline of April 10th, 2025. Should that be 2026 or 27?
I think so.
Yeah.
Either that or they really missed the date and they didn't even get started. But
Yeah, they didn't start till what, end of October, first of
Yeah.
November or something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just, on page 29, the pay to date, says $13,150, but if you add the two lines here, it's $16,600.
So,
I don't know who created that. Is that from the doctor?
Yes.
We knew that the number on the left isn't right because that's the 322, right? But that is also incorrect. So does that change the other number? Just curious.
Are you talking about page 29?
Yeah, so up at the top says paid to date.
So that, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
That's the money that we have gotten back from the grant. So they've already sent requests for payment, Michelle has,
Oh,
and they,
okay, so that's not the two top lines added together that says paid.
it's the $9,000 and the $7,600 is paid to date of $13,150.
The math isn't like that.
That's $16,600. So.
She must have fat fingered it.
But does that change the number that we're gonna be voting on to approve the?
No, because if you'll see at the bottom, there's the little red numbers on the bottom of the pages.
I saw those.
That
Yeah.
has the breakdown of what the block grant's paying and what the city's paying.
Okay,
So those other two pay apps, they just would come off of our in-kind or our money towards that. But we have, what, 300,000 we have to get to for our city contribution?
Oh, yeah, a little more. So, staying on 29, I hear what you're saying, but I don't understand, is the 13, what we know now is 16, is that money that we've paid?
No,
It's my understanding that that's money that came back to us.
I heard that, but why does money come back to us?
no. That it's money that Michelle has requested from that, like this one, this page, the Frontier Grant money.
Yeah.
She's requested that money from them, and our check numbers are right there. Those are our funds that we paid, that 34761, that's city money.
Okay, so if we have paid $16,600, it shows that we still have pending $246,750,
Of which we're paying.
which is the total of the CDBG grant.
I know that we have sent Michelle money.
I mean, it's a combination of grant and city money.
Yes.
And we've sent Michelle $16,600, and Michelle says we've sent her $13,150.
I think she typed wrong on my Idaho SiteWorks because that's not how I would have done the report.
Yeah, it's confusing. Is there a hurry on this?
Probably for the contractor there might be. Isn't that, he wants to get paid, I'm assuming, don't you, Jamie, that he would like to, I don't know.
It's hard to pull the numbers that don't match.
Yeah, I don't know, I think we need to figure it out, but I'm just saying that might be the urgency of the contractors.
Well, the one, I'm looking at the first, it doesn't make sense because it says date grantee deposited funds to 2025 and they dispersed funds nearly a month earlier in January 21st.
something's not right.
So I guess, can we take this back and take a look at it, and if the contractor's in need, can we maybe just have a quick special council meeting to approve it so you get paid?
Yeah,
That way
I
we
know.
get it straightened out. All right, is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Like I said, maybe we can go to the next council, but if they're really in a desire to get paid, we can maybe set up a short.
Yeah, we'll have to have a special meeting because I know it's for the bathroom order.
They need to get that place. Okay.
They have to pay down so much in order to get the stuff, so we have the time, so the other companies are
So,
partial payment.
so maybe we ought to figure out a time when we could do a special meeting. How many days at a time we need to do that? So that we can already have that on the agenda once we get this figured out, so we can get this moving forward, because I don't wanna wait 2 weeks, 2 days. Thursday or Friday, which,
Thursday, there is a planning and zoning meeting in here at 6 o'clock, so if we can get in and get out before they're in here, we'd be great.
we'd only need 10 minutes probably.
Come in at 5:30 and get it done.
Everybody good with that?
I can't make it Thursday.
I'll make it.
But the other thing is we could do it earlier on Friday or however you wanna do it, and what's everybody feel like that? We only need.
You don't need me, but I'm gonna be in
No, we don't
Adams
need
County,
you.
so.
We just need to vote on,
Did Mike go for it?
Yeah?
as to where Mike's at.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, if you're talking, never mind.
But I'd like to, maybe if we can get this, Sarah, if we can figure it out and get it out to everybody so they
As
can
long
look
as you
at
have a
it.
quorum, if Mike's not there to vote,
Yeah.
you'd still be fine having a special meeting.
Friday works better.
You can have it Friday, because that gives Michelle time to get things.
Yeah, should Friday, I can do Friday, it's just, that's what time you wanna do it. maybe, 4 o'clock?
What time?
Would that work for anybody, 4 o'clock?
No,
No?
earlier, I can do earlier.
Well, then Jody and I work, so Jody, what's your one?
I'm done at noon, so.
Okay, then it's only me,
You
so
can
I,
take a lunch
and I can take it, yeah, I can figure it out, so I know the boss. So, what time do you think? Want to do it at noon or 1 o'clock?
I just need four council members here or on the phone, so we have a quorum.
I can be here. At noon or 1?
Can you do it by 12:15? Yes.
12:15. Okay.
That work?
Let's do it.
12:15, all right, set up a meeting, 12:15, and hopefully we'll have all the paperwork to you so we can review it before that. That work for everybody? All right, so this item's gonna just be pushed off to the next meeting since we don't have enough information to correctly do it. Library Director's Annual Report, and I think everybody got a copy of that.
Good evening. Do I need to state my name? No. Okay. Good evening, council and mayor. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. Fiscal year of 2025 at the library was, I would say, a reasonably good year. I learned a lot of things, and I'm starting to be able to get into the practice of being able to direct the library. Go ahead and slide forward, please. When you come to a library, we have smiling faces to greet you, and we enjoy having people come to the building and smile back at us. Our staff includes myself, Wendy Walker, Brenda Stowe, Carissa McComb, Kim Zentmeyer, Deborah Key, and Michaela Williams. On our collection and circulation, you'll see numbers that show the print materials, the physical items, the electronic items, and then combined. And this is strictly for Payette. If you look at the print materials, the circulation versus the amount of collection, we had 154% circulation. On the physical items, which is anything that we have in the building that can check out, we had 156% circulation. On our electronic items, it's a little bit lower number. We're working on that balancing act between people saying, I want to hold a book, and people saying, oh, well, an ebook is okay, and I like to hear the audiobooks as I travel. And so we're finding that balance of having physical items in the building and having the electronic resources. Now, it might look like a smaller number than you've seen in the past, the 24,500. That is what Payette has in the Idaho Digital Consortium. If you look at the digital resources available throughout the state of Idaho that when you sign up for a library card you have access to, the entire number of digital items that you can access with your library card is 234,136 items as of today. And of those items, Payette has 25,000 in the digital consortium. So the numbers are a little bit, I don't want to inflate them, but there's a lot more available than what you would see just here. And then going with the total number of collection versus the amount of circulation for the total items that Payette has, we had about 87% circulation of all of our collection. That doesn't mean 87% of everything went out, but the numbers are there. And the ebooks and the audiobooks are going up. It is something that we are pushing. It is something that is very handy because they don't get lost, they aren't late, they can be damaged. But again, we're finding that balance between somebody wanting to have a physical item and being able to deal with an electronic resource.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So so that 7,300, it's just from Payette. So when I go on to Libby and check out a book from Boise or whatever, it's not counted in this, right? Or is it?
I did not pull those outer numbers, I just pulled for Payette right now. But there is a way to say, okay, the people in Payette borrowed this many from here and this many from there. We do have those, sometimes it's a little interesting to try to find where they put those numbers because it is a bigger resource.
Yeah. I think that's great, that 7,300 came from Payette, that's awesome.
And of the digital items, there's over 6,000 magazines available online. So that's really a nice resource because we don't carry them with those physically anymore. Next slide, please. Libraries are more than just books. If you haven't been to the library lately, come in. We've got a lot of stuff available. Some of our newest things we have are the telehealth, which is being really promoted. St. Luke's has brought in some telehealth equipment. We have homebound delivery for people in the city limits that are not able to get out to the library anymore. We're trying to make sure all of our citizens have the access they need to the books. If you come into the library, you are not forbidden to use library resources. The only thing you really truly need a library card is if you want to take something physical out of the building. Otherwise, we make it available. People can use the computers, the Wi-Fi, the study rooms. They're all available to you on a regular basis. We are not specifically listed as a cooling station, but that is an option in the summer, and we notice that that is something that's really helpful for people when it gets really hot. Our library budget this year was something that I've been in the learning process, and so when we looked at the projected revenue and the projected expenditures and realized that there was about a $54,000 difference between what we were likely to make and then what we would need to make up, and that would come out of the funds that are basically our savings funds. I did some really carved to the bone work to see what I could do and keep us from going into the negative. One of the things that we did is we asked the community if they had donations of craft items to do that, and they more than stepped up enough that the police or the fire chief has said, you need to clear some of this out of here. So we'll be going through and inventorying and taking care of that. But we were very pleased this year to be able to not have a negative balance when we got to the end of the year. Our regular weekly items are story time, Lego Club, scavenger hunt, and take and make kits. If you're not familiar with a take and make kit, what it is we have little items that are free to the public, usually a STEM kit or something like that, to encourage people to be able to have things for either their children to take home, or we do occasionally have adult and teen crafts that you can take home with you at no charge, and most of them have some kind of a science or educational slant to them so that we can help people continue to have their education. The scavenger hunt has grown in popularity this year. Brenda Stowe will put out a little treasure hunt sheet where it's got anywhere from a dozen to 20 items that are little pictures hidden throughout the library. And the kids come in and get a scavenger hunt, and then they can look for it. And when they find all of the items, they get to choose from the treat basket. If they have trouble finding something, they come to the desk and ask for a hint. And this allows us to say, go look in the nonfiction. Go look at the graphic novels. Do you know where the audiobooks are? And it helps them become more familiar with the library and the different things that we have available there, as well as they are able to work on their communication skills, coming up to the desk and asking an adult a question and getting an answer back. And so it's been super popular, and we feel like it's really a good, beneficial thing for them as well. Monthly, we have our next chapter class and our ladies' night. These tend to be craft classes, but they also sometimes will bring in a speaker from the extension agency or other places. This past time, we had a watercolor class, and it was so popular that we are going to do an open one so that anyone can participate. This year, regularly, we have started monthly having our Teen and Tween Fridays, and that attendance has quite gone up a lot. We have summer and winter reading programs. We have summer STEM program. We have a star party. And we do have the homebound delivery and the study rooms and the telehealth. We've got Title through St. Luke's, and we also have something else. So if somebody needed a privacy space and the equipment to communicate with someone, we have 2 rooms and 2 systems available for that. Okay. You'll see a list of our community partners, and you might notice that your page is taped together. I found a typo because I looked at it and said, we are not part of the Boise Astrological Society. We are friends with the Astronomical Society. We don't do horoscopes at the library, at least not officially. But you can come look it up in the newspaper. New this year, and remember this is the fiscal year 2025, was our first year for the Santa visit. And then we did it again just this past December. It's been very popular. We've had a lot of positive reviews, and it was very fun to collaborate with the fire department. It's really good to get them into the building and everybody just to be seen and just visit, and it was a really good evening. We put up a special scavenger hunt just for that night. We've started a puzzle exchange. This has been something that people have been requesting for several years, and we did it, and it's free, there's no charge. You can come and take a puzzle, and you can exchange it or you can keep it. We don't track it because we just want people to be able to enjoy that. The foundation has a vending machine, and all of the proceeds go to the foundation that benefits the library. So anything that they are raising will help us if we have a shortfall. 2 new community groups that started meeting where they darn yappers. It's a little group that likes to knit and crochet, and they come in. And we did have a writers club briefly come. We have very generous donors. Most of our prizes for summer reading come from community. We do not spend a lot of our budget on those prizes, and that really helps us. Our membership is up this year. Last year we had 439 new card holders. This year we've got 446. Last year we had 1,845 total resident cards. This year, 1,957. Last year we had 634 non-resident cards. This year we have 665 non-resident cards. The total this year 2,483, and we're up 0.3%. 2/10 of a percent. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that means that people are continuing to come in and renew and stay with the library. For children's programming, you can see the numbers there. We had 209 events attended by 6,647. Off-site, Miss Wendy goes to the schools and to Head Start and does story times that she goes and also participates in First Book program, which provides a free book to those children. We had 41 events attended by 2,400, 30 adult programs on-site, 25 adult programs off-site. The Star Party's usually off-site. We count that as a general program. So it was like one, and I wasn't going to add a whole line, just for one. The very last one, you'll see that there are 314 take and make / self-guided activities. That includes our scavenger hunt. So the little take and make activities, either the kits were counted or the number of people that participated in the scavenger hunt were counted, and that came out to 13,723 participants. Either they took a kit or they did the scavenger hunt. So it's pretty good numbers. Our people counter at the door counted 37,726 people. That doesn't include anybody that might have been out in the park for story times. We do try to count them, but not story times, I'm sorry, for our summer reading. We do try to count them, but we have enough people moving in and out that sometimes it's like a guesstimate more than an actual figure. So this is the actual figure. Physical items, you can see the star by the digital means. Those are the ones specifically our Payette library paid for to put into the consortium. That was not the total amount that the consortium added that year. We had over 3,000 computer sessions, nearly 19,000 wireless sessions, and biblionics are circulating software counted that people saved $903,428 because it tracks on their account how much a book would be worth if they had paid for it. So thank you so much to all of our supporters. We have Claire Ames, Mike Campbell, Ron Warzen, Terry McKay, and Lena Wilkins as our library board of trustees, and Mike Key was our liaison and has been for a couple of years, and we're going to miss him. Thank you so much for supporting us at the library.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job. A big asset for this community.
I just wanted to say I have been going to these meetings for 2 years. I miss one every now and then, but they have the best board. If you ever want to see a well-run meeting, go to a 30-minute library board meeting, and they are efficient. Top-notch treasurer, top-notch secretary, and the minutes are always right on, and I'm going to miss going to those. I may go to them anyway.
We won't stop you.
That's me, not invited.
And I take advantage, I have a library card, I also take advantage of Libby, and it was very difficult to make the move to audiobooks because I still feel you should read a book. But what an asset those Libby audiobooks, and I have a card in San Diego with the help of my daughter, and so if you have a card in Payette, you can just about go anywhere and get audiobooks. So I would encourage people to get a library card here in Payette. The price is right.
All right. Any other comments? Good job. All right, so the next item on the agenda was council liaison appointments. There are some other appointments, but these are commissions. And so I have asked Jody to serve on the historic, Lori to take the library spot, and Mike is gonna move to my old spot on the airport. So he's already been there once, so. So those are action items. Those are the ones that I'd recommend. I've got, and then the rest of you are on other things, but they're not voted on commissions, so. I guess I'd like a motion to approve those. Everybody's happy with them?
I'll make a motion to appoint Jody Henderson to the Historic Commission, Lori Steinecker to the Library Commission, and Mike Key to the Airport Commission.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mike already read them, I read them, so we're gonna go with all the appointments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks, guys. All of those are actually, I think, pretty fun commissions to be on, so I know the airport is. I've enjoyed it. In fact, I'm still gonna, like Mike, I'm still gonna attend periodically because there's a good bunch of guys right there running the airport, so. Okay, so we have an amended agenda. And I talked to Evan a little bit. This is on the authorization to hire administrative consultants, and Evan, you might explain a little bit how we wanted to do that. I thought we would just have one item, but Evan said it'd be clear if we just split it, so I'm gonna let him explain.
Yeah, I just had it, and it could be my misunderstanding. I just had it to where we were sending out after the discussion at the last meeting some requirements that you wanted her to follow. I did, if you'll see on the independent contractor, that's Exhibit A is what was sent out to everybody. So I figured first you would just approve, yeah, we want to hire Bobby on, we want to hire her, and then go to the contract if you have anything that you want me to change. And I will tell you that as I was sitting here earlier, I did notice that on paragraph 2, I have April 28th, 2025 instead of 2026. So I know right there when we get to the contract, that's going to be.
It must be a popular month.
If you guys, if it's easier for
Maybe
you.
you wrote the other contract.
I wrote this one, still messed it up. So if it's easier for you guys to take that all in one time and discuss it all at once, then we can just make a quick motion to amend it to have those as one item. If not, take it up with Bobby first and then move into the contract.
Up to you guys, I just saw it as a single item, but it doesn't matter. We can do both of them. What's your preference? Anybody care?
I don't care.
Do we have to modify that, or can we just vote on doing a single item?
What's that?
Do we have to change this, or do we just
No,
vote on
you vote right now to amend it to discuss 8 and 9 at the same time, and then just a little voice vote on it.
Okay.
A first, second.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to amend the amended agenda of January 2026 and combine items 8, which is the authorization of hiring an administrative consultant, and 9, an independent contract agreement with the city of Payette and Barbara Black.
Second? A motion and a second to combine the authorization to hire administrative assistant and the independent contract into one line item for an action item. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so now we can just discuss the line. All right, so this is basically for Bobby to be able to come in and do some review and training, stuff that I got listed out by different council people. This is on a limited time. Contract's got 14 weeks. This is a contractor. We're not paying benefits. We're not paying, we're just paying her as a contract, so we're not taking out taxes or anything. She's an independent contractor. That's why I haven't had to work with the contract, so you can see that.
That is true. And one thing that I just didn't know, and I figured you guys could discuss today, is obviously you'll see number 3, the amount of compensation is up to you guys in your hourly lump sum. I didn't know what you wanted to do on that.
My thought on that was that we no longer have a city manager, clerk manager in there, so we compensate her at the hourly rate we were paying him for since she's only working 2 days a week, so. That was, any other comments on there, or listen to anybody else's input on that?
I think I thought we were going to analyze where we are with the budget after the raises were given. So I'm kind of against spending money until we know where we are financially.
Well, that's part of what this is gonna help me figure out. chicken and the egg thing. So I kinda like,
Mr. Mayor, what do you propose you're gonna get the money to pay her? And why such a high amount?
because we had budgeted for David and David is gone, so I assumed we were gonna use David's salary to cover this, because hopefully we didn't spend David's salary somewhere else. We shouldn't have. It wasn't authorized by council. So that's my thought, is that we would use the amounts that went into David's salary to offset the 2 days a week that we were paying Bobby.
So I would like to know what AIC certifications Bobby has.
She has all of them.
So clerk treasurer, she has that. Okay. I see one of the things is to cross-train. Bobby was here for 20-some years. Why didn't she cross-train the staff before she left?
It's a different staff, and I don't know that. At the time, she was working under Mary, so I'm assuming that that was the case.
One of the things that I would like to see discussed, she hasn't been in the office for 5 years and it changes. And any of you that have changed jobs know that how, for example, how I might do something, you will do the same thing a different way with the result at the end. We have already passed with flying colors our audit. So what are you looking for? I've read all of that, but the only thing that I could see that needs help is the minutes.
I tend to disagree with that. I think there's a lot of things.
Do you think our audit was wrong?
No, but I think there's been some money spent since the audit, and I need to know where it's at.
Okay, Bobby can't fix that.
Well, Bobby can guarantee where it's at, or make me comfortable enough what's been spent, what the raises have been done.
I would think that people in our front office right now could also help with that, without paying someone extra money to come in.
I'm not
Council,
comfortable
I
with that.
think one thing that was just brought up to me, and maybe Sarah can fill you in more, but she did say as of right now, there's $1,200 left in salaries, but $60,000 left in professional services, and we are hiring, this would purport to hire on as a professional consultant, essentially an independent contractor agreement, so you could potentially pull out of the professional services fund if there's adequate funding there.
Did you misspeak when you said $1,200?
I did not, but I don't
What?
know.
I don't understand what that means.
Probably for what's budgeted, there's $1,200 left on top of what was budgeted, is that correct?
So the budget item for salary, and then you have everybody that's currently coming out of it, admin,
Mhm.
leaves $1,247, it's on the spreadsheet that I gave the mayor. There's $1,245 left for the entire year for,
Oh,
after,
okay.
like, as long as the current people that are currently employed and our building inspectors stay.
And that includes David.
No, that does not include David.
That does not include David, so you're not including any of David's salary.
No, because when the building inspector was hired, he's paid 100% out of administrative.
Yeah.
And he absorbed all of David's salary that was in administrative.
Oh,
I guess that's where I'm at with the problem of how do we replace a deputy clerk that was in there when the council didn't approve any of those expenditures?
I mean, in my mind, that's what we need. We need reports on. I understand we got a report, but I'm like Ray. I don't understand what are we going to do the rest of the year. And I would like somebody to be able to bring a report here, and we need to report these things to the public. We're going to run out of money.
No,
And
no, we're not gonna run.
yeah, we are. We're gonna hire somebody, right? When? Okay, but will you just go along with me?
Sure.
So if we hire somebody to replace the city administrator that left at a somewhat current, what he was making before, we don't have enough money.
I can answer that. So, the way David was paid is a portion was paid out of admin.
Right.
A portion out of water.
Right.
A portion out of sewer.
Right.
Water and sewer have each $35,000 left in their salary line items that you guys could choose, if you choose to hire a new city clerk treasurer, you could pay that person out of those two funds for the time being to get you out of your fiscal year. I just am giving you the information
Well,
I know.
I understand that, and I appreciate you bringing that up, but, you know, one of the things I would like to see is for us to quit stealing, you know, recognizing that water and wastewater are the golden goose that we can go and take money from and, you know, try to fix the general fund with it. I hope I can convince some of the current council that some of the things we've done in the past, to take money from that. I mean, even at the last meeting, the question was asked, why is water and sewer paying the whole ticket for this one event? And it was explained that, well, we can't use property tax money for that. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understand that people don't pay property taxes for the purpose of having a Christmas party, but neither do they pay water and sewer fees. So, I mean, that's one of the things I talked about in the last administration. That's one of the things I want to keep talking about. So, to me, that's not, you know, taken from water and sewer. And I understand how it's split. And similar with you.
Correct.
And maybe another employee.
Not for admin. I know that it's common practice that, I think almost every city, the smaller cities, they pay their admin staff from water and sewer.
I've always supported that. I think I think they should. I don't agree with the amount.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It keeps going up.
I'm just giving you the information that I have.
Yeah. No, I've always thought that, you know, they should be split between the funds.
Well, and I realize some of you may don't think that I need this eyes on it, but I think I do. And I've talked about this for some time. I think I need to be able to justify some of this to the public, and that's why I'm asking this, and I'm trying to be upfront about doing it. But there was some raises given that if we're broke, I don't know how they were given. I'm trying to figure that out. And so I'm asking you that I think I need this, and I will argue all day that things have changed since Bobby's been there, but not in the financial part and the other stuff. Cities are still run the same way I did when I ran 25 years ago when I was still involved with city government. The fund accounting and the way the money is moved around, that's not something that's black magic and changed. And she just spent several months in New Plymouth working with them to train clerk and to get that stuff done. So from the standpoint of me addressing the public, I think I need this to be able to back it up. That's why I put it on there. So.
Any other discussion?
Any other discussion?
Well, I just think, and her best friend talked to me at the Christmas party and said she is toxic and she will bring a toxic atmosphere to our office. Someone in the front office who is not in this room told me if she comes in here and talks to me the way I've heard her talk to Sarah, I will quit. And we don't need that. Our front office is.
Lori, I don't know that that's appropriate to say in a public meeting. I understand you feel that way.
Well, then we should have gone to executive session.
Well, Jiminy Christmas.
Hey.
Somebody told me this, somebody told me this.
Well, I'm not saying somebody told somebody this. They told me this.
Well, I can tell you all day long that people told me similar stuff too, but I'm not going to repeat it. I mean, it's not about Bobby. So that goes both ways. I don't think that's something we need to discuss here.
Well, I find it interesting that you question the money that was spent for the Christmas party in 2025 and nobody said a word at 2024 and it came out of the same account.
I wasn't questioning it. I think it's important to have. I think it's important to have a Christmas party. Yeah, and I didn't realize that's how it was paid for in 2024. So I'll make a motion that we approve the authorization of hiring an administrative consultant and authorize the mayor to sign an independent contract agreement between the city of Payette and Barbara Black.
For
$42.50 an hour. Because that's what Cody was making.
Do we need to include and change April 2025 to April 2026 in the amount of?
It's $42.50 an hour.
$42.51 an hour. 50 cents an hour.
For how many weeks?
Till April 2026.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to hire Bobby as an independent contractor, for $42.50 an hour for the duration that's in the contract, which is 2 weeks, 2 days a week. So clerk, please call the roll.
Snyder? No. Key?
Yes.
Patrick?
No.
Franklin?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
Henderson? Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, so department reports is the next item. One of the things I would like to do is I'd like Kevin to tell us what he got in money. Because that's a big item. I don't know if you guys saw it in the paper, but maybe you can explain why we got that money. We got 39,000, a little over 39,000 from Idaho Power to the sewer plant.
For the VFD project that we did, last summer, and it was, Idaho Power had a rebate that, city rebate for us doing that project, and that's why we received that. Almost $40,000.
Awesome.
Yes, that was way bigger than, I mean, he's gotten checks in the past, but that was
That was a good one.
substantially bigger than anything he's gotten in the past, so. So that's a big plus. The rest of the stuff, any other department heads have any comments they want to make or anything? It's, the reports are in there, but.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, there's a report from the police department that the audience may not be able to see, but they're the stats of the Payette Police Department and the 2025 narcotics seizures. In 2025, they seized over $25,000 worth of marijuana. Marijuana is still illegal in Idaho, if you didn't know that. Methamphetamine, they seized over $16,000 worth of methamphetamine. They seized $708 worth of cocaine. All the cocaine boats are getting blown up, so. And fentanyl, everybody's heard about fentanyl. You wouldn't think it would be in our small community, but they seized over $3,000 of fentanyl. So they're doing a great job. And is this you still have a dedicated narcotics guy, or?
We do.
Yeah.
So does this help fund him, or where does that go?
No, it's just the value of the product that was seized. It goes to the state once a year and they incinerate it, so we can't resell it.
I mean, no, that's
Darn
great.
it, you made good money.
So anyway, any department heads have anything else they want to say? I'm going to give them a chance now and then, but the reports are in there, but if there's anything you want to bring up, you've got a chance to do it. If not, the next item on the agenda would be the council comments, and councilors, that's your chance.
Well, since I mentioned the police department, I'll mention that we've finally got a great report on gas from the airport. I think we're on the right track now. We're going to make some money. We're going to sell some gas. We're going to make some money. People are going to fly to Payette to gas up. I feel. My prediction.
Any other councilors? All right. Legal have anything you want to say, by the way? I figured I'm going to give everybody a chance anymore other than just that, so.
No, you know, I'm just working my best to figure out how to write 2026 in contracts
Yeah.
this year. Hope I do better at that.
Yeah. Just on that side of it though, council, if you have any questions or anything, you know, Evan gave you his number and feel free to call him, because that's one of the things that Evan and I have been trying to keep. He's actually probably went over his hours this month, but that's okay. He's him and I have had several chats, and I think we're doing good, so.
Mr. Mayor, I had a comment.
Yes.
On the next agenda, I'd like to have on the agenda, just for council discussion, the possibility of doing a work session on the Friday before a council meeting. Just talk about it. I'm not saying it's a good idea. No, the council meeting before a work session before a council meeting, the Friday before. I think it would do us a lot of good. It would be short. We'd be able to find, potential mistakes. We'd be able to ask questions and then have staff have, 3 days to find the answer, because so often now, we'll put somebody on the spot and ask about a bill and none of the information's here.
Only give us Monday, because I don't expect them to work on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, I take it back one day. So I just like to put it on the agenda and have a discussion about it. I realized it would need to be noticed, and it would be a public meeting, and we could have it here, and if people wanted to come to it, they could. And I just think it would be short and worth its weight in gold.
I'm up for it. Anything I can learn, I've got lots of questions all the time.
So, following Mike with that, one of the things that I wanted to bring up because of the library is we're trying to get the packets out on Wednesday, but we run into a little bit of a thing in that the library doesn't get their bills in time to get them all on the agenda. So I'm kind of wondering if we couldn't maybe put out an agenda to the council, or at least information to the council of stuff that's going to be on the agenda, because getting the final agenda, we had 2 amendments this time, trying to push it out, try to get it out Wednesday. So it's a little bit of a crunch for us to actually get the full packet out and ready to go by Wednesday. So I kind of want to throw that out for discussion to see if anybody, I think anything critical or any of the resolutions, Evan, can we send those out to the council people before they're on the packet, just to review before they go to the packet?
If you're just sending out what you guys want to discuss at it, you're not actually deliberating about those issues, that's totally fine.
Just for review is what I'm looking at,
So
because
you
a lot of
can
this stuff we don't have time to review if we don't get it until that on the time, so.
Yeah, because then you can time it out too. Like you may have everybody wants to have an idea of what they want to discuss. Okay, we'll take up these ones during this meeting, and then we'll take up the other ones. You can do that type of thing.
Yeah, because otherwise the library has to totally rearrange their schedule for bills and stuff, and it kind of throws us in that. Sarah, you got any input on that?
The other information that won't be ready on Wednesday is when we have payroll Wednesdays. The payroll report and cash report, that won't be ready till Thursday morning. And then in case we have a shut-off day, like we had last Wednesday, we had shut-off, and that's why packets didn't get out on Wednesday last week, is because we were hopping on shut-off. We had 83 people.
So I think some of the stuff, council can correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the stuff that we want to review is more ordinances and stuff that are on the agenda that we can spend time on instead of just more so the bills and stuff. So maybe we can attempt to send some of those out through emails, if everybody's good with that. You can review those, and then on quite such a short notice to try to get everything done and have to have amendments and everything else.
I think we just set a goal to get them on Wednesdays, and when we can get them on Wednesdays, we get them, and when we can't, we understand why we can't.
Yeah, but if you can't get them, if you had some stuff to review, we can still get it out and do that, so. Like I said, I think the library is it's mostly the dollars and the payroll that's the problem, trying to get it out.
For purposes of notice and everything, I think with the Wednesday cutoff, with the way that you function, you might even consider, I don't know what the availability of everybody is, but if you go till that Tuesday, if we just had the regular meeting on every Tuesday, if that worked at 5:30, that would give staff and everybody more time and still make sure that you get everything, properly noticed up with the paper and so forth. I don't know if I'm not trying to throw anything out there to have a wrench in it, but that might be one option if you really want to get it out on Wednesday, or if you just move one day the next week, that gives you, so you can have 48 hours of the notice period, and everybody has a little bit more time. They can take that Monday and read it if they have a long weekend or something like that. Just a thought. Might help.
And we're avoiding a lot of Monday holidays too.
Why don't we put that on the next agenda?
discussion about.
Next agenda, we'll
So I'm available, I can come over at, as long as I know what day it is, I'll just cut off 4 o'clock.
Well, that might be an easier solution.
That's
for
it.
everybody else.
And it doesn't affect, bills. And you're right, we've missed all the Monday holidays, okay.
And not gonna lie, Mondays are crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to get ready for a meeting on
Especially if
Monday.
it's a Monday after like bills go out,
Yeah,
we don't have a second to stop and do anything.
yeah.
All right, let's put that on the next agenda and talk about it, see if you wanna do it.
Good idea.
Okay, other thing on mayor's comments, I have a list that I started making, and it's about a page and a half now. Told you guys that my goal was to have a council that wants to work with me, and I have a lot of projects from stuff that we need to do, like review employee handbooks, a bunch of other stuff, the stuff that I just want down. So as I build that list, I'm gonna start passing out to you, and we're just gonna try to chip away as much as we can and start. Some of it comes down to open meeting law thing that I'm gonna have Evan put on the agenda for. A lot of this we can do is the last thing on an agenda. We can spend time. I mean, the list is pretty long. So like I said, I think we can all educate ourselves and come out of here a whole lot more ready to do our job. And like I said, I told you, you're gonna have to work on this, council. So I think I'll let you ready to go.
So did that get sent to the AG's office, Evan?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Did you get that open law issue sent to the AG?
Yeah, I've sent it, I haven't heard anything back yet.
Probably take a while,
Well,
but
he's been I don't know if he's got other guys that.
oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, there's a whole department.
Yeah.
Not him, yeah.
He's almost as big as Evan's office.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Okay. Well, that'll be good for us to have, because I've had people ask me.
There is a handbook that the AG publishes, it's available.
Well, I specifically, for those who don't know, I specifically talked to Evan about turning that into the AG's office to get a ruling. Because
in that handbook,
there's
they
just
don't
way
have
too many
whether or
variables and
not-
too many people
Yeah.
disagreeing with what.
It doesn't apply to the
It's
particular
a
situation,
good
it's
book,
up in the air.
but they don't nuance,
Yeah.
everything that can everything that can happen.
Very general information.
Yeah.
It is. And if you really get into the teeth of it, when you get into the case law that they reference.
Well, and I just wanted Evan to get some experience sending stuff to the AG's office. So he's
Yeah, I had to find out who to send it to, so I'm like, I've never done that before. I don't wanna deal with the AG a lot if I don't have to be honest with you. So, happy to do it.
Anyway, I threw him under the bus, there you go. Okay, so, and then the other meeting I had this week was kind of fun. I was gonna call him anyway, but Superintendent Croft called me up and I spent luncheon with him and truly had a good time with him. I like the guy and we had a good visit. And I'm gonna revisit getting students involved with city council, and I'm gonna go visit the alternative, or the academy, and try to get students from both schools to come in, and also to do some of my other thoughts that we don't have the manpower to do, maybe use students to do it. So I'll keep you posted on that, but I had a really good meeting with him. So I think, I think we got as good a superintendent you're gonna find in the state right now, taking care of the high school, so, out of the schools. So I'm tickled with him, so. Yep, if nothing else, he improved the looks of everything that he's touched so far. Yep, he has, he's done a good job.